Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to check out the Intrigue expansion for Galactic Civilizations 3. Along with that came a new patch, patch 3.0, and I just want to quickly go over it. As you can see here, taxes, you can set your tax rate in the civilization screen. Increasing the tax rate will decrease your civilization's morale. This actually surprises me. With the amount of 4X games out there that allow you to do this already, I couldn't believe that this game didn't allow you to do that beforehand. Maybe it was in before and they got rid of it and now it's back. I don't know. I don't follow these games as closely as I would like because I have so many of them. But I do know that in other 4X games that I've played, like Stellaris or, say, Sid Meier's Civilization, there are various ways to adjust the taxes, and usually increasing the taxes would make people unhappy, which is the standard reason. You don't want to pay taxes. There's tourism. Tourism is now based on the amount of tiles you own. This is doubled if these tiles are connected to your own planet and multiplied by the tourism bonus for each colony. The more influence you have, the more space you control, the more money you will make from tourism. Food. Arable land has been added. Now, this is something that I did not like when Galactic Civilization 3 was released. The food system was really weird, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. It looks like they've made it a lot more simplistic. Most planets have at least one arable land tile. Don't worry, you can destroy pretty nature and building parking lot. Farms can only be built on arable land. Cities no longer require special resources, just food. The higher the class of the planet, the more likely it is to have arable land. It's actually a really simple system now. There's no, in my playthrough so far, I haven't run into any sort of starvation or anything like that. There's extreme worlds, extreme planet frequency increased substantially, corrosive, bacterial, frozen, barren, and radioactive worlds. Now, I also want to briefly touch on what is new in the Intrigue expansion for Galactic Civilization. So here is future me explaining all about that, or at least giving you the highlights. Alright, thank you, past me. Galactic Civilizations 3 Intrigue expansion is available on Steam and other places for 20 bucks. I do have affiliate links in the below description, so if you could, and if you were nice enough, feel free to buy your games there. Green Man Gaming, Humble Bundle, even Amazon. I've got a link for that too. So go check out the games there if you want to buy them there. You should still get a Steam key, but anyway. If you are new to Galactic Civilizations 3, I do believe the core game is on sale for about 66% off as of today. So if you've never gotten into this 4X game, then now might be a good time because it's actually on sale. It's pretty cheap. So what does this new expansion entail? I'm just going to scroll through this real quick. You can choose a form of government. I've seen other 4X games do this before, so it's really nothing new to me. But it's nice to see that added addition. Basically, you can roll with a gentle touch or with an iron fist. 20 available government styles. I'll be able to show that to you when we get in-game. See your civilization through unexpected crisis. There are these crises that come up, and you'll have to figure out how to deal with them. There is, like, against a massive space creature, quelling a group of violent revolutionaries, and you can decide how to handle these situations. You can establish a commonwealth. This reminds me a bit of Stellaris, in the sense that as you grow in Stellaris, you eventually create, I think it's like districts or territories, I don't remember the official name for it, but they act on their own and do their own thing and don't count against your empire planet total. In this case, the worlds on the outskirts will want to become independent. These subject states will do as they're told without you having to lift a finger. By granting these worlds a status of Commonwealth, they will be converted into an ally with a favorable disposition and will be inclined to implement your requests on the galactic scene. So that's pretty interesting. Shop in the updated Galactic Bazaar. It's sort of like I don't want to say a black market, but it's a way to purchase. I myself purchased some ships, some combat ships for early game. They cost a lot of credits, but it's a way of building ships, or, well, getting ships without having to build them. You can trade on the galactic market as well. Let's see. There's construct a new prototype flagship. I think that's what I was referring to before. I think the Galactic Bazaar mercenaries aren't the only thing available here anymore. You'll be able to purchase and sell additional resources. So it looks like the Galactic Bazaar and the Galactic Market received a buff and some new stuff. Again, buying ships, buying resources, that kind of thing. And then the Galactic News Network, a little robot will pop up from time to time and explain, you know, who's doing what, who's in what place based on this particular category, that kind of thing. And there's other new content. So again, this is on the Steam store page if you want to read it for yourself. And I'll go ahead and switch back to future me and, well, is it past me or... Anyway, I'm going to switch over to the game now and show you my current playthrough. So stay tuned here. Okay, thank you, past, present, future me, anyway. Galactic Civilizations Intrigue. Let's go ahead and load up my previous save. Now, because this is a 4X game, I've been playing this for about 3 hours. But like all 4X games, they take a while to play, and I'm not going to be able to show you all of the content because of that. A good 4X game on, say, medium, large, extra large galaxy sizes, they could take months to play. One of my first 4X games was Civilization 2, and also Birth of the Federation, which was a Star Trek themed 4X game. It was a lot of fun to play. Okay, so here we are. For those of you that have never, ever heard of this game before, I've covered it before, but for those of you that have never heard of it, you start off with an empire. You can customize that empire. You can sort of cater them any way you want to. You can start off with specific technologies. You can set your race bonuses. You even set some negatives to your race if you want to do that. As far as the new content is concerned, most of it can be found on the very top here. For example, well, ideology, some of you may be familiar with already, but that's one of the newer ones. It's not new to this expansion. It's been here before, but that's one of the newer things based on some of the previous expansions. Diplomacy, government, this is new. So there's your government, and here you can see average approval, turns until can change, and turns until election. Once you change to a specific government, you won't be able to switch to a different one for a while. Change government. So here are the different government types. You start off with like colonial and imperial in the very beginning, and as you play, you unlock more. I myself am going for like an assimilation, influence takeover kind of thing, so I went with media assimilation. But just to read off a few of the governments to see what you're getting here. For example, theocracy. It's basically centered around faith. Other governments fall away, but our religion is eternal. Defender of the faith, unique ship, morale, bonus, colony limit, and no elections. Bureaucrats, racial trait is required to take that. Unity, there's Interstellar Republic. You get a Prime Minister starship, which is unique. Trade route diplomacy, +2. Research increase, gross income increase, colony limit increase. Holds elections, cryptocurrency, galactic market enabled. That's the galactic market that I was talking about in that expansion. I don't think I have that ability based on my current government type, but with that republic, you can get that galactic market enabled. Bureaucracy, you can't declare war, and contracts can send missions. So basically, these are just different government types that modify your playthrough in certain ways. Again, with my influence, media assimilation, my influence growth is +25, so I'm able to take things over very quickly. If you combine that with, say, the benevolent ideology, like I think it's prominence. Yeah, there's different ways to increase your influence. For those of you that don't know anything about ideology, basically there's 3 different paths. Like on occasion, you'll be presented with choices, and you can either choose the benevolent path, the pragmatic path, or malevolent path. And it's sort of like the morale karma system in like Knights of the Republic, if you remember that game, where or Mass Effect. When you choose a choice, it's either good or bad, and you can either, you know, your character will become good or become bad. Same thing here. There's a good, neutral, and evil route, malevolent, and that also plays a part of how other races view you. So if one race is benevolent but you're malevolent, I'm going to be butchering that word. I have a lisp sometimes, so certain words I can't pronounce correctly, and I'm a YouTuber, go figure. But yeah, so let's say that you have opposite ideological traits. That will affect your diplomacy and actually hurt your relations. But anyway, I'm pairing benevolent and going down the prominence path here, and then that boosts pretty well with my current form of government, which is media assimilation. But yeah, there's other ones here that I didn't even unlock yet. There's Galactic, Kingdom, Viceroy, unique ship, soldiering, bonus, all construction, ship construction. So yeah, you get it. Each government type is a little different, and you can unlock ones as you go. And some of these are unlocked via the tech tree. Speaking of the tech tree, it's still basically the same tech tree. Let me click on it. There's a little overview of what you can take over here on the left, but on the very bottom left, this is the tech tree that I've come to know and love from previous Galactic Civilization games. They've sort of optimized it here, but back in the day, this is what I was used to. So I usually come here instead of that other screen. But there's colonization, engineering, warfare, and governance. And like always, this tech takes time to research, and you can even specialize in certain areas. Like some of these will split out into 3 different techs, and you have to choose one of the 3 to take. That kind of thing. But yeah, that's nothing new. But the government is new. Let's get out of here. Done. There we go. Bizarre. Let's go ahead and show you that real quick. So I don't have the credits to actually buy anything, but Friendly Mike's Traveling and something. Okay, so this is a ship that I could buy. It has no weapons. It's a support ship with a cargo hull. It says +5 credits per turn to any planet ship is stationed at. So it's a mercenary. The Sable, also nothing worth talking about in terms of military. The Facade, on the other hand, has some laser weapons and some shields. It's a survey ship, from the looks of it. A mercenary ability, survey ship, extremely long-range ship. The Path of Ruin, is it? 1, 2, 2, and then 1.1 armor. An armed survey, range-boosting support ship. So there's just, as you can see, there's different ways. Oh, and this one was hired by the Onyx Hive, so I can't hire that one. Yeah, so there's a bunch of different ships that I can both unlock and purchase, but you got to have the credits. I mean, they're sort of like, again, they're mercenaries. They're going to want their money if they're going to work for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and play for a little bit. As far as like the Commonwealths go, I haven't done that yet, but I may want to start doing that just to see what it looks like. So let's go ahead and just, is it arrow keys? Yeah, arrow keys to scroll over here. So here's like Gagarin 1. There's a new Commonwealth button on the very bottom. If I click that, creating Commonwealth. New DGA, it's the name of it here, trade route. Customize Commonwealth. Let's see. So I can actually change its logo. I can change the portrait, picture, video. So it's sort of like creating your own race in the Civilization Builder. In fact, it even says Civilization Builder up top. So I'm creating a whole new race, but they are going to be allies with me. And you could even, personality-wise, you can see how they're going to end up, which is really cool. So you're going to create one here under the Civilization Builder, and again, it's going to be your ally as opposed to being under your direct control. I don't know if I'm going to do that, though. I kind of like being in control because, you know, but that's just me, though. But if there is a benefit to doing so, I may end up doing that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play a few turns. I'm not doing that great, honestly. Dad's Gaming Addiction, which is me. I'm the blue one on this balance of power bar. Aqua, the Altarian Resistance, is doing fantastic. In terms of production, I'm 2 out of 4. Research is 2 out of 4. And military is 4 out of 4. I'm doing terribly in terms of military. And unfortunately, I had the bad luck of starting dead in the middle of the playing field. So I'm surrounded by everybody. The Altarians are doing great. One thing I do have going for me is that I do have I do have these star bases built almost all over the place. I'm trying to get as much influence as possible. I'm sort of like the Borg, but the Borg not firing a single shot. I'm trying to culture shock everyone into joining my collective, if you will. But that's my current strategy anyway. I've managed to take over a few planets already in doing so. It looks like I'm working on this one up here. There's a star base. It's specialized for culture. If you click on manage down here, whenever you build a star base, you can choose, okay, what do I want it to be? Do I want it to be an economic star base? Do I want it to be an influence kind of star base? Or a military star base? Different things like that. And you'll be able to... I've been doing influence for the most part, and the economy ones I'm putting next to my planets to buff them a little bit. But yeah, you come here and you spend resources to add modules to your starbase. Pretty cool. And then over time, it generates culture. If you hover over a tile, you'll see influence, Dad's gaming addiction, 62%, Altarian resistance, 38%. If I move in closer to his home planet where his borders are, Altarian resistance is 52%, Dad's gaming addiction 48%. So I'm slowly, hopefully I'm gaining ground there. I don't know if I am. I'd have to see it over a few turns whether or not I am. But hopefully if I can push long enough, he'll come to my side. I think I have a planet that I'm already pressuring, but they haven't joined me yet. Oh yeah, Mego 2. As you can see, they're a little unhappy. Foreign influence on this world has become so high that population has begun to rebel. It's a class 20 planet, so I am trying like heck to get it. I may try to build... I've got what? What starbase is this? This is, I think, an influence star... Yeah, this is an influence starbase. This is an influence starbase. So, I am trying like heck to get this planet, because a class 20 planet... Very rare. Very rare. I'm trying to get it. I don't know if there's a better way to get it over to my side more quickly other than waiting. I do know that if I wait long enough, usually they come over to my side. But if there's a faster way for me to do it, I'll try to. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing in this playthrough. I'm going to go ahead and skip a few turns so that maybe you can see the Galactic news update pop up with an update. This guy, here we go, GNN. The Elite University Survey. The weekly periodical Zentor has published its annual university ratings, identifying the best colonies in the galaxy based on their academic, research, and drinking cultures. So Earth and Earth 3, which belong to me, you know, those are that. One thing I would love to see, though, is what faction they belong to. That would be nice. But, yeah, there's the other one. So, yeah, every now and again, this guy will come up well, this robot will come up and say, hey, these are the people that are leading the charge in this particular category. Okay, so I think that's all I can show you. Unfortunately, our government does not allow trading with the galactic market, so I can't show you that. Well, actually, you know what? I did save the game, so why don't I try... Let's see if I can switch government types and then maybe show that to you. You can also see your commonwealths from here, too, which is nice. Change government. Interstellar. Yeah, let's try that. Change government. And I just won't save the game. There's the market. Okay. Now, this is new to me, but according to this, buy and sell. So these are all the different resources that are in the game. Durantium, the Techopod Hive, the Hypersilicates, Snuggler Colony. So yeah, these are, you can just basically buy and sell commodities here. Pretty nice. I don't know if I would ever use it, but if you ever needed to build a particular ship type because it had some sort of module that required a special resource, you could come here and buy it real quick as opposed to gathering it manually. You can gather these resources manually via star bases. Like, for example, this one here. This star base is a mining star base, and I'm mining, there's a little radius here, which basically tells me, okay, I'm mining everything inside it. There's Illyrium here. So I'm gaining 0.2 Illyrium from that. And I think there's some others that I have. Economic Relic. Economic Relics increase colony gross income. And I could have sworn there was another one that I was mining. Oh, here we go. Durantium. So yeah, I'm using this star. I think it's an economic starbase with the mining attachment in order to do that. But that's a look at the market real quick. And let me go ahead and change this back before I forget. Because if I don't do it now, I'm old. You know, what are you gonna do? So that in a nutshell is the Intrigue expansion. Again, there were one or two things that I couldn't show you. The crisis events happen very rarely, meaning that, you know, every 100 turns, maybe 50 turns, something like that, something will pop up and I'll have to address something. So I don't think I'll be able to show that to you today, but at least I gave you a brief glimpse as to, you know, what you're in for should you decide to pick up the Intrigue expansion. Breaking news. Okay, so this is apparently randomized because this is a different thing. The most militant. Well, I know I'm not militant. Yes, that is the board cube icon there. And that was something that was part of the game already. I didn't have to install any mods for that. The shame list on the very bottom. Research. Let's see. Durantium composites. All right. So now, let's see. Interstellar trade, missile augmentation. Let's take a look at this tech tree. I'm trying to go culture here. The next one up, however, this one is going to take 11 turns. I'm trying to see what other ones. Anything I can do to... Okay, cultural... All right, I guess we'll go for that one. Oh, I thought I was researching it. Oh, I can't research it yet because I'm not of the correct age. I'm in the age of war right now, so I have to research other things first before I can even cross this little red line here. Well, if that's the case, I guess we'll go with something like, I don't know. Actually, let's go military if we can. Kinetic optimization. And this is the split I was talking about. You can sort of focus on any one thing. I guess we'll go with range. Sure. Idle colony, this is not doing anything. And yes, there are still special people that will be hireable. On occasion, you know, people will set themselves apart, and you can assign them as, say, scientists. You can assign them as entertainers, and you can either assign them empire-wide to get a small bonus, or you can assign them to a planet to give a significant boost, but to that planet only. For example, the scientists. Scientists will boost your civilization's research by 3%, or you can settle them on a colony and boost research by 30% instead, plus 1% per level. So this one is idle. It doesn't look like we're doing anything here. Soil engineering. Let's go ahead and take that. That way we unlock this tile. And after that, I guess we'll aid research. All right. The people of the Onyx Hive find themselves in dire times. Would you consider a gift of knowledge? No. Sorry. Resistance is futile. I don't give things away freely, even though that probably is going to make them angry. Ship. Oh, I don't know if this was in the current build or previous build, but you just can't build ships willy-nilly anymore. There's actually an administration capacity now. And that you'll get managers, and with that, you'll be able to build a certain number of ships, like star bases, survey ships, and colonized planets. So, if you can't build colony ships anymore, or construction ships anymore, stuff like that, you have to increase your administration capacity. That can be done via different buildings that you can build on planets or through technology. All right. I'm going to go with, missions. You can also partake in missions now, which is kind of cool. So I can go on a treasure hunt, gem trader. It'll cost me some resources, but it looks like, you know, I might get something out of it, maybe some money. So, yeah, you can actually assign missions to your shipyards as opposed to actual ships, instead of building actual ships. And of course, there's always the, this is my favorite part of the game, is the design ship. There's also a Steam workshop, should you want to, you know, import ships from that. But you can start from scratch, new design. This is what I spent most of my time on in Galactic Civilizations 2. Not so much 3, because now that I'm a content creator, I don't have the time to do it. But back when I was younger, the ship designer was awesome sauce. It was, I would try and create the Enterprise, X-Wings from Star, you know, I would come up with all sorts of things. Now, I mean, even if you don't want to go from scratch, there are these, you know, these designs that you can pick out, and then you can attach things to them after the fact. So this is, I'm in like this design mode. These are the hulls. And if I click on equip from here, like I can equip my hyperdrive, thrusters. This is based on your research. So if you don't have a whole lot of research, you won't see a whole lot here. But as you unlock more technology, you can assign lasers, for example, to these hard points, like so. And you can, on the bottom right-hand corner, you can even scale them. Well, okay, I selected the wrong thing. I think I have the wings selected. What do I, okay, no, that's weird. Yeah, obviously I'm not, this is a lot more advanced than what I'm used to with Galactic Civilizations 2. But yeah, you can customize your ship. There's an X scale. Oh, okay, didn't want that either. But yeah, you can adjust things any way you want. I selected that part instead. Let me try selecting this. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so I had to select the part on the very bottom. As you add parts, they'll get added on the very bottom there. You can also, instead of choosing a pre-existing design, go back in design mode. Like, you can do it with a tiny starter or a small starter, and from there, there's is it under this one? Yeah, there we go. It's the next one over. There's small, medium, large, and huge hulls. Then there's these universals. So yeah, if you just want to create, you start off with this little. This is your starter tile, and from there, you can build off that any way you want to, and you can be as creative as you want. And again, obviously, I'm not going to keep this. This is just this is a freak of nature. But yeah, so you could go crazy with this any way you want. I'll add whatever this is, sure. Yeah, and another one there, sure. These little red dots are hard points. So look at all the different hard points I've got there. I don't know what I would call this thing. It's not of nature. Let's just say that. It's okay. I'll add this to it, whatever that is. So yeah, and then when you're done with that, like I said, you go over to equip, and then you can equip the hyperdrives and the shields, defenses, modules based on your level of technology. But on the very bottom, it says 0 out of 36. So you still have to abide by the cost of these things. You just can't put anything you want on these ships. You have to, you know, there's armor. That alone cost me 8 points, this Durantium composite. Lasers, I put that on there. That cost, I'm up to 28 out of 36, so almost, I'm almost at my limit. And right now I've got 1 attack, beam attack, and 3 armor rating, and that's it. This ugly looking thing only has that involved. But again, this was a small starter. You can, under design mode, once you unlock the technology, you can unlock medium starters, which increase the amount of size that one particular ship can hold. So yeah, really, this game is fantastic. I like Galactic Civilizations as a series. Galactic Civilizations 3 in the very beginning didn't. It was a great game, don't get me wrong, but the food mechanic I didn't like. But they've changed that to be a little bit more simpler, and it's not messing me up as much, put it that way. I didn't have to worry about feeding my people as much. It seems to be more automatic now. But yeah, this is my current playthrough. I know I didn't show you a whole lot of gameplay here, but at the very least, it should give you an idea as to you know, what you're in for should you decide to pick up the Intrigue expansion. Again, it's $20 on Steam. If you want to support me, buy it on other sites that I have listed in the below description. And yeah, if you guys want to see more gameplay, let me know. Just keep in mind, I'm probably going to lose this one because, well, I'm doing pretty poorly right now. But if you still want to see some content, I'll be happy to show it to you. All right, so this is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.